So, how's your cholesterol? High? Low? What do you mean you don't know? You've never had your cholesterol checked? Or has it been a long time? Do you know what cholesterol is and why it's so important to know what your numbers are? Well, as you know, I'm no doctor, but I can tell you a few of the things you need to know about cholesterol. First of all, it's not all bad. In fact, your body manufactures it because it needs it. That's where the problem starts. Your body makes all it needs. It doesn't need any help from you by eating a whole lot of stuff with cholesterol in it. Thank you very much. So how do you know if something might have cholesterol in it? Well, it's easier than you think. Listen up. If it flies, if it swims, walks, or runs, then it has cholesterol. That's it. So if you're eating chicken, well, it flies and it runs, so it must have cholesterol. Fish, well, fish swim, so it must have cholesterol. Cows walk, so beef must have cholesterol. Avocados grow on beautiful trees, so I guess they can't have any cholesterol. See, it's easy. Cholesterol can only be found in foods from animal sources. So does margarine have cholesterol? Is there a margarine cow? No. So there's no cholesterol. But butter, yes, because that does come from a cow. Now, obviously, you have to be a vegetarian to cut out all cholesterol, and that really isn't necessary. But if you have your cholesterol checked, and you really should, and your doctor wants you to lower it, then you have to watch out for foods high in cholesterol. You need to know what they are and be sure not to eat them all on the same day. So just when you thought you had this whole eating business under control, now we give you something else to figure out. A good rule of thumb is to keep your daily intake of cholesterol under 300 milligrams. This would equal approximately 4 to 6 meat cards and 2 dairy cards a day. So you're probably doing okay already, except that you have to watch out for some shellfish like shrimp, and you also have to watch out for eggs. So don't order a shrimp omelet, okay? One egg alone has almost the whole daily allowance, 252 milligrams. So just imagine if you had a 3-egg omelet. Wow, that would be 756 milligrams, enough to put your body into cholesterol overload. But there is a good part of this. The cholesterol is only in the egg yolk. There is none in the white. So you can make your omelet with 1 whole egg and then 2 extra whites. That would count as 2 meat cards. Well, that's one way. Now, I don't know about you, but I can't really scramble a bunch of egg whites and eat them. Well, it's just I feel like I'm eating a cloud or killing an angel or something. I just can't do it. But you may have noticed on your Joker card, you can use 1/4 cup of that cholesterol-free liquid egg product. And it's really not bad. In fact, it's great because there's no cholesterol and you don't even have to use a meat card. Now, I did read in the newspaper that they're training these hens to lay cholesterol-free eggs. But till those birds get it right, I ain't taking any chances. But I haven't really told you why you need to know all this. What is cholesterol anyway? Is it fat? Well, kind of. It is actually a fat-like waxy substance, and if you eat too many foods that have it, the body can't eliminate them quickly enough, so this waxy stuff builds up in your tissues and your arteries. There, it can accumulate with fat and can trigger heart problems, so you can see why it's so important to know if your body is storing an excess of cholesterol, so you can take steps to get rid of it, to be in tip-top health. You want your arteries to be squeaky clean. This is your arteries, and you don't want your arteries to be like this. This is the cholesterol. Yuck. Now today, why don't you study your daily meal fat cards and see which items do and do not contain cholesterol. And if you don't know your own cholesterol level, please make an appointment today and get it done.
All right, so this one was about cholesterol, and I watched Jeremy's videos before I'm doing mine, and he noted that this didn't age well because there's 2 types of cholesterol, LDL and HDL. And there's good cholesterol and bad cholesterol, essentially. And just for laughs, I decided to go on my Clinic's Health app to track down my previous lipid panel. And The one, I'm forgetting if it's HDL or LDL, but the one, I think it's HDL because I always think HDL is high, which is bad, but HDL is actually the one that's good because I always get confused on that one. But the range for someone my age, I think, is like 40 to 60. And then like borderline bad. Like if you're under 35, it's a problem. And I was at 51. And I didn't pay attention to the number exactly on the other one, the LDL. But I did pay attention to what range it was in, and it said that I'm borderline high risk. So as of my last physical, which actually was 2 years ago because my kidney must have happened right when I was supposed to have my other physical. So I was a higher weight at that point, so that result might be different now. But I mean, cholesterol, heart problems in general are scary. I mentioned this in a previous video. My dad had to have a bypass in March, and he's lost, I think, like 20 pounds since that bypass. So it was a very worrying time for my family because we weren't sure what was happening, and he's gotten healthier since then, and I'm very grateful that he's still here. And that sort of thing just makes me, when I think about it, it makes me want to push forward and get healthy. That way I'm healthy for my family and around. So we'll see you in the next one.